away the day, Wullie?
Knockhill.
Knockhill
Racing circuit.
Racing Circuit. And why are we at Knockhill Racing Circuit?
To drive my car.
To drive your car. Now, how does a 14-year-old come to end up owning a car, pray tell?
The Junior 1000 Championship.
The Junior 1000 Championship. And Ted, you might be able to tell us a bit about what that is. What is the Junior Ecosse 1000 Championship?
The Junior Ecosse 1000 is a championship that allows 14 to 17-year-olds to learn control of a car and introduce them to rallying in a very controlled basis, in that the stages are all on single venue and they're all matched up with a more senior navigator with years of experience.
Exactly, and you are one of those senior navigators, aren't you?
I am indeed.
And you were actually one of the first people I think we met when we joined up to the Junior Ecosse. You were the very first person to give me your email address and your phone number, I think.
Indeed, I remember that, and that was at the January 23.
The awards ceremony.
At the awards ceremony.
Correct.
I remember meeting
Now,
you.
you were saying there, for the juniors, we have, so it's to introduce them at a sort of lower level rather than coming in. So what do we have about these cars that's different from a senior car?
Right, maximum 1000cc.
They
can't be, you can't do great alterations to them. You certainly put in safety systems such as a roll cage.
A roll cage, like William, do you want to come in here and open the door and just show us what Ted's talking about here? Come in and show us the inside of your car. So what is a roll cage and where is it? Come and show me.
The roll cage is situated about down there.
So it goes pretty much through the structure of the car, is that correct? And it goes right across the top. And what is the point of the roll cage then?
To help you keep safe inside the car.
So yeah, so if you roll over, what's going to happen to a normal car?
It'll crumple.
It'll crumple. What will happen to this car though? It'll keep safe. So even if you're going at high speed and you roll this car, hopefully the car will stay in relatively one piece.
And also it can help with handling and keeping like your car rigid more.
Stopping the car from bending and stuff like that. So there's a lot of benefits to it then.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, what other safety features do we have in the car? What could go wrong if you crash? What could happen?
A fire.
A fire. So what do you need if we're going to have a fire?
Fire extinguishers. Fire
extinguisher. Not a fire extinguisher, fire extinguishers. And why do we have two?
There's one that's plumbed into the car and one you can just take out and use.
So can you maybe explain to me what plumbed in means?
So basically it's in the structural integrity of the car. So it's bigger, so it's maybe under the seat, and it delivers all the stuff that to stop the car from going on fire. Right,
so it actually has jets inside the engine bay and inside the car.
Mm-hmm.
And is there specific rules around them, the amount you need to have?
Well, in natural aspirated cars, it can be anywhere from 3 in the car, to 3 in the engine, or it could be 2 in the car, 4 in the engine.
Wonderful. So there is quite a significant amount of safety stuff in here then, Ted. Is there anything else you can tell us that's maybe a bit different about this car from a road car then?
Seat belts.
So
normally in a car you would have what's called a lap and diagonal.
Right.
And in racing rally cars you have what's called 5-point.
A 5-point.
It comes over both shoulders.
Right, let's just have
comes over the side, and you've got one that comes between your legs so that you're completely held into the seat.
Fantastic. So even when you roll the car, you are held in at 5 different points.
Yep.
So this roll cage is going to stop anything from coming in and hurting you and crumpling on you. And then these belts are going to keep you centred in that safe space.
Correct.
Fantastic. Now, is there any other things that's maybe slightly different about this car from a normal one?
Gearbox, probably.
Gearbox? You think the gearbox is different? I think that has to be the same, does it not?
But like the way you use it.
The way you use it.
But and the way it's and how it is, because in normal cars the gearbox is flabby, so you can just. In normal cars the gearbox is flabby, so you can just put it in and out of gear.
Right, and in this one it's quite tight, is it?
You have to force it into gear.
You have to force it into gear. So I noticed that when I had a wee drive of it. It felt completely different to a normal car.
To be honest, he said, "Oh, there's something wrong with the clutch."
I thought there was something wrong with the car. I says, "Is the gearbox meant to feel like this?" You said, "Well, yeah, that's exactly how it's meant to feel." Now, on the back here, what does this say?
Hashtag Mon the Micro.
Hashtag Mon the Micras. What does that mean?
It's for all the micros only.
So what's a Micra to those at home who might not know what we're talking about here?
A Micro it was the first generation. It ran from 1990 to 2002 of micro. This is a Micro, which had two different models. The 1 litre here, and also the 1.3 litre version.
Now, when I was young, this is the kind of car that my granny would have driven. And when I was at the school, if any of my friends had got a Nissan Micra for the first car, it would have been kind of very uncool to be cruising around in. But this little car, what has this turned into in the 30 or 25 years since it was built?
A rally car.
A rally car, and not even a granny rally car. It feels like an actual
rally car.
An actual rally car.
You can feel yourself shaking in it.
In every way. Do you want to just start it up and let us hear it so people can just hear what this actually sounds like compared to what they might imagine a Nissan Micra sounding? Oh, there we go. We're going to give a wee bit of rev. Oh, goodness me. That's how you do it. Right, turn it off again. So Ted, you will have seen quite a lot of these cars in your time over the years. From what I know, this was the kind of most popular car originally in the juniors, is that right?
When the juniors started, the Nissan Micra was the car to go.
The go-to car.
There's not so many of them now because cars have developed, and that the modern Micra is beyond 1000cc.
Ah, see.
And that's why you're not getting so many of them nowadays.
So this is really the last, this is the king of the castle, the last of a dying breed, would you say, possibly? Or in its end days as a rally car, maybe?
In a way, though, there are plenty guys preparing Micras that are over 20 years old.
Yeah.
To keep them going.
It's difficult.
So it's difficult, but they're still there and we still get them.
Right, absolutely fantastic. Now, is there anything else you can tell us about this car? What's the experience like when you're driving it, William? How does it feel?
Well, when you're in the first 1,000 to 3,000, you're sluggish. You're like, oh.
3,000 what?
1,200 RPM.
RPM, so that's revs per minute, right?
So basically, when you're coming about there, but then the second it gets to 4,000, it takes off.
Does it? So it's like a VTEC then, it just goes once you hit
that. You'll have it
that.
like 40 until you hit that, and then you're getting the full 60-ish, so.
Absolutely fantastic. Right, well, we'll say cheerio then.
Yeah.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.
Many thanks.